Hello! Welcome to the adventures of Okra and Foongee. Okra, a small green sea turtle with kind eyes, moves slowly but deliberately towards the ocean. Foongee, a bright yellow seahorse, eagerly awaits Okra's return to the ocean. The ocean isn't much fun without Okra. Foongee's eyes light up with excitement as Okra approaches. Today they will search for treasures. Oh, Foongee, Okra sighed contentedly, gazing around the shimmering ocean floor while dreaming of finding hidden treasure. Imagine it! A secret treasure! What do you think it could be? Foongee wiggled with excitement, his little tail twitching. Ooh, ooh! Maybe it's a chest overflowing with shiny buttons. Foongee loved anything that sparkled. Okra chuckled softly. Buttons, perhaps, but legends speak of something even more magnificent. The most brilliant pearl in the entire ocean. They say it glows with all the colors of the rainbow and can light up the darkest depths. Foongee's eyes widened. A shimmering pearl? Wow! Do you think it's real, Okra? Okra nodded slowly. The old sea turtles tell tales of it passed down through generations. They say it's hidden somewhere very special, protected by a secret. A secret! Foongee exclaimed, bouncing on his seaweed perch. We have to find it, Okra. We'll be the most famous treasure hunters in the sea. Okra smiled at Foongee's enthusiasm. It won't be easy. The legends also say many have searched and never found it. We'll need to be clever and brave. With great confidence, Foongee declared. We can do it. You're smart and strong, and well, I can fit into small spaces. Okra considered this. That's true. We might make a good team. He looked out at the vast ocean. But where do we even begin to look for a pearl that can light up the darkness? The water was warm and crystal clear, revealing vibrant coral reefs and swaying anemones. Foongee zipped ahead, looping around, while Okra swam steadily. Suddenly, a flash of brilliant color swirled towards them. It was a whole school of fish, hundreds of them, darting and weaving like a living rainbow. Each one was a vibrant mix of neon yellow and pink stripes, glowing almost as brightly as Foongee himself. Hello, Foongee chirped, swimming right up to the edge of the school. The fish paused their synchronized swimming, their little eyes blinking curiously. Okra, always polite, asked, "Excuse us, wonderful fish. We are searching for something very special. Can you tell us where we might find the lost lagoon?" The neon fish began to ripple and shimmer, their stripes seeming to glow even brighter as they moved. In a collective, bubbly whisper that sounded like 1,000 tiny bells, they pointed their noses towards a shimmering, hazy spot in the distance. They didn't speak words, but their movements were clear. Follow us. And so, Okra and Foongee followed the dazzling, striped fish. The fish led them past towering kelp forests and through a sparkling field of seagrass, until the water began to change. It grew calmer, clearer, and a soft, golden light seemed to filter down from above. They had found it, the lost lagoon. As they swam into the peaceful lagoon, they spotted someone scuttling sideways near a patch of bouncy green seaweed. It was a bright red crab, with big, friendly eyes and claws that kept wiggling with excitement. This was Creamy, and he looked absolutely delighted to see them. Well, look what the current dragged in, Creamy exclaimed, his voice a happy, bubbly chuckle. He did a little sideways jig. New faces! Oh, I just love new faces. Welcome, welcome to the Lost Lagoon. I'm Creamy, the happiest crab you'll ever meet. What brings to such charming adventurers to my humble seaweed patch? Foongee, never one to hold back, zipped right up to Creamy. Hi, Creamy, I'm Foongee, and this is Okra. We're looking for the most brilliant pearl in the entire ocean. Creamy's eyes widened, and he wiggled his claws even faster. The most brilliant pearl, you say? That sounds like a proper adventure. I haven't seen a new adventure around here in ages. Creamy the red crab wiggled his claws excitedly. A pearl that lights up the darkness, you say? Ooh, I haven't heard of that exact one, but I did see something very interesting not long ago. A rather old, crinkly map, bobbing near the grumpy old hermit crab's cave. It had some funny squiggles and lines, and it looked like it led somewhere super important. Foongee bounced with anticipation. A map, that's it. Okra, that's how we'll find it. Okra nodded, his thoughtful eyes focused on Creamy. That sounds very promising, Creamy. Do you remember where you saw it, or how we might find this grumpy hermit crab? Oh, the hermit crab is easy to find. He's always grumpy, Creamy chuckled. But before we go poking around his cave, I know just the person who might be able to read those squiggles for you. My very best friend in the whole wide ocean, Onyx the sea urchin. Creamy pointed a wiggling claw towards a deeper, shadowy part of the lagoon, where the rocks looked older and were covered in more mysterious growths. Onyx lives down there, among the oldest, wisest rocks. He knows all sorts of hidden things and understands the strangest markings. He's very quiet and likes to stay tucked away, but he's super smart. Foongee looked a little nervous. A sea urchin? Don't they have spiky bits? Creamy laughed, a happy bubbling sound. Oh, Onyx has spines. Yes, but he's the kindest, gentlest sea urchin you'll ever meet. He just needs a little quiet to think. You'll like him, especially if you have a puzzle for him. Let's go, said Foongee. Creamy chuckled, his red show jiggling. Hold your seahorse, Foongee. Onyx lives just beyond the Whispering Sea Caves, not too far from here. Onyx knows everything about old ocean tales and hidden things, and Onyx is very, very wise, even if he sometimes seems a little prickly on the outside. Okra nodded. A sea urchin? They are known for being very old and knowing many secrets of the deep. Exactly. Creamy clapped his claws together softly. Onyx can be a bit quiet, but I know Onyx will help. And maybe, just maybe, Onyx will even let you see the map. Lead the way, Creamy, Foongee declared, already zipping a little ahead. Okra smiled, his slow, steady movements ready for the next part of their journey. Creamy, bubbling with enthusiasm, scuttled quickly, leading Okra and Foongee out of the tranquil Lost Lagoon and towards a darker, rockier part of the seabed. The water here felt a little cooler, and tall, shadowy rock formations began to rise around them. Onyx prefers quiet, rocky places, Creamy whispered, though his voice was still quite loud and happy. Perfect for thinking deep thoughts and keeping old, important maps safe. Soon, they approached a cluster of ancient, moss-covered rocks, dotted with small, hidden crevices. Peeking out from one of these shadowy nooks was Onyx. He is a large sea urchin with spines that looked quite formidable. His eyes seemed to hold a vast, ancient wisdom. Onyx was a deep, mottled purple, almost black in the dim light, blending perfectly with the rocks. Hello, Onyx, Creamy called out, not a bit afraid of the spines. I've brought some new friends, Okra the turtle and Foongee the seahorse. They're on a grand quest, and they need your wisdom. Onyx slowly turned, its spines shifting slightly. There was a long, thoughtful silence before a deep, rumbling voice, like the gentle grinding of stones, spoke from within the cluster of spines. A quest, you say? For what? Little ones, do you seek answers in these ancient waters? Onyx, the large sea urchin, slowly shifted its spines, and its deep, rumbling voice spoke again. A quest for something grand, you say? The ocean holds many secrets, little ones, and some are more brilliant than any star. Onyx truly seemed to hold the wisdom of ages, older than Okra, Foongee, and Creamy combined. Creamy wiggled excitedly. They're looking for the most brilliant pearl, Onyx, the one that lights up the darkest depths. Onyx paused, a thoughtful silence hanging in the water. Ah, that grand treasure, Onyx finally said. I did not know it was a pearl, but its magnificence has been whispered on the currents for generations. It is indeed a great distance away, hidden where only the truly determined can reach. Onyx suddenly uncovered a secret spot beneath its spines. From within, it carefully nudged out an ancient, sepia-colored map. It looked like old parchment, slightly crinkled, with faded lines and mysterious symbols. This map, Onyx rumbled, has been in my keeping for longer than I can remember. It marks the way to where the grand treasure rests. It will not be an easy journey, but if you are brave and kind, the ocean will guide you. Okra's eyes, wide with wonder, followed the intricate lines on the map. Foongee gasped, pointing a tiny fin at a squiggly line. Look, Okra, it goes past the Whispering Trench. I will help you decipher its path, Onyx offered, and prepare you for the journey. The path requires patience, courage, and true friendship. With Onyx's wise guidance and the precious sepia map, Okra, Foongee, and Creamy began their grand adventure. Onyx couldn't leave its rocky home, but its wisdom echoed in their minds as they swam. As they journeyed further from the familiar lost lagoon, the ocean became a highway of wonders. They met many different sea creatures, each one unique, and all were intrigued by the trio's quest for the most brilliant pearl. One by one, some of these creatures decided to join them, eager to see such a magnificent treasure for themselves and to help their new friends. First, they met Squiggle the neon squid, who could change colors faster than Foongee could blink and loved to tell funny jokes by puffing out ink in silly shapes. Squiggle was a great navigator because they could squeeze through tiny spaces and explore ahead. Next, they encountered Barnaby the ancient barnacle, who was surprisingly mobile. Barnaby usually stayed stuck to rocks, but he had a secret way of wiggling from place to place, propelled by tiny bursts of water. Barnaby was slow but incredibly strong and could help move obstacles. He was also a wonderful storyteller, knowing tales from every corner of the ocean. Finally, they bumped into Pippin the playful pufferfish. Pippin loved to blow bubbles and play hide and seek. Pippin might seem a bit bouncy and silly, but when danger was near, Pippin could puff up to an enormous size, looking very formidable and scaring away anything that might threaten the group. Pippin was also surprisingly good at finding hidden things, so their group grew. Now, Okra, Foongee, Creamy, Squiggle, and Pippin were a motley crew, all swimming together, following the ancient map towards a grand, brilliant pearl. They were very different from one another. A slow turtle, a zippy seahorse, a scuttling crab, a colorful squid, a wiggling barnacle, and a bubbly pufferfish, but they all got along wonderfully. Each one brought something special to the journey, united by friendship and the shared dream of finding the ocean's greatest treasure. Okra and Foongee's adventure will continue in the next video. See you next time for part 2.